Okay, take a look at this thing. Can you see that? Hopefully it turns out okay. So this was welded up by Jim Betts himself. That's right, Jim Betts, the longtime metal boat builder, who now does mostly composite stuff, but here in his welding shop he still does the welding himself, if you're one of the lucky ones to get him to do it. And so this bow piece was cut off from a bow roll that my dad had that extended way back here. It's a big long metal piece. He actually had welded a stock one on to a big channel thing. It was way too heavy. So this is going to attach. It's going to be held down. There's a G10 plate on the bow here. Here's the headstay attachment. There's a solid G10 here that the sun's kind of in the way there, isn't it? Solid G10 here on top of the solid wood that this bears against, and there's a slot in there that goes up and comes out through the deck. So the G10, the thinner plate of it, extends all the way up the nose of the bow, all the way to here. So the shear strength of that is enormous, and there's going to be G10 rod glued in where these fasteners go that will bear into the G10 plate. So this would have to rip off the entire nose of the boat. So it's quite strong. And then up here on the top of it, there's these holes here. They're also going to go into some G10 rod that will be glued into the deck, much like these screws will do here. These are, in fact, these already have some G10 inserted into the deck there to provide shear strength, so they won't move around. These ones here really actually don't do nearly as much. So most of the workload by the bow piece is going to be done by these. And you guess, well, why is that? Isn't this the bow roller anchor going to load this down? Well, actually the highest load that's going to get on this thing is going to be for the tack line, for the asymmetrical kite, and for possibly some masthead reaching sails that will go off a compression tube and some stuff on the top of this. The pulpit will go a little bit in front of all this, so this will, you'll be able to run the tack line inside the bow pulpit. So I cut this off of the old piece and did a bunch of lightning holes in it to make it as light as possible. As you can see, it's not bad at all. In the spirit of keeping things functional but light on Project Improbable, that's what this is all about. Anyway, Jim welded this up. I'm flying back to Maine tonight, so I'm not going to be getting this mounted. And it's no rush because we want to paint before we get too involved. This will get seated into some high density epoxy. We put packing tape on this when you fit it so it won't stick. You'll sand all this down, put high density epoxy filler on there, get it in position so it'll have a very tight place to seat onto once it's bolted in. There's a little bit of camber to the deck there, so we'll make sure that it can't rock or anything. It'll be super strong. Trust me on that. Okay, so that's that bow roller that I was talking about yesterday.